How long is this hallway?
I've been walking for days.
My legs hurt.
I need to get to that.
Ah.
I need to get to that rave.
Actually, I'm just thinking of
I must catch up with Norman Reedus.
But no, really, do you guys listen for a second? There's a rave going down.
It is a little rave. And I'm not even dressed appropriately for the occasion.
Whoa. Let's see what we got here.
19.
Oh, we require 19.
So we need 20 people to be on that. We need 20 people to be on that pressure switch. Okay, back to you, Hype.
A lot of people.
Yep.
Steve? You were going to say something?
I was, but the opportunity passed.
I'm sorry.
That was a bit on me too, because I was making the rave joke. So yeah, we have a bit of a puzzle here where we must collect people.
And that means more mind control.
Move.
I would have loved if you just ended it right there. It's like, that must mean we must collect more people. And that's it.
Da-da-da. We're trying to win hearts and minds.
Mostly minds.
Yeah.
Because these things have no hearts.
Hey!
Heartless.
That's deep.
Honestly,
Now, see, you would react that way if you had a heart.
Honestly, isn't it the other way around? Because technically they do have hearts if they're living, but they don't have minds.
Oh, and that's why
you got this backwards.
True.
You got that backwards.
So you all have hearts, but you're all stupid.
They're very stupid.
You
very,
care, but
very
it's like
stupid.
It's like
whatever
care, and that's
God.
you care, and that's important. But you're idiots.
Sorry, I take that quote from. I gotta take a quote from Chris's Vacations. Like, don't mind Billy. His heart is bigger than his brain. I appreciate the compliment.
Whatever happened to the age-old quote of "Follow your heart"?
I know, right?
Not
enough people do that nowadays.
General Grievous tried that. Unfortunately, he burst into flames.
General Grievous had no heart. He was a robot.
No, he's a cyborg. Literally, his
he looked more like a robot.
No, literally, there's an entire comic of him going apeshit, telling everybody he is not a robot because he is a cyborg. Literally, the only things that are left of him that are old Kalish, which is his alien species, are his eyes, his brain, his heart, and some of his organs.
All right.
I very much had a fondness for my appendix. I told him that I would rather.
Oh shit!
Sorry, just the fact that he kept on. So
what the?
Oh, cool.
Somehow it works.
Usually these helmets are strapped to wires, but I guess this one works for like kind of remotely. Where now this basically allows me just to take the mind control power with me everywhere. I just need to be within close enough proximity.
Don't forget about us, please.
Of course I'm not going to forget about you guys. You guys are the helpful pawns of which I will stack my victory upon. And they're like,
pawns? We have feelings, you know.
No, I'll also be like, thanks. Yeah, no, so we're just going to let them on. Get on.
They have no souls. Hey! He's right.
Elevator ride.
Okay, you guys not crowd around me?
Yeah, that's a bit
weird.
Personal space.
Jimmy's the breather. I don't know what that's from. Okay, what I took that quote from is I forgot where it was. I forget where it was sourced from. Okay, cool. I can use them to leverage my way up there. Oh,
going up, sire.
All you gotta do is hold jump next to them, and then they'll launch you automatically.
Oh, okay. I was wondering how that worked.
Yeah, you trigger a jump. Oh, actually, crap. I think I realized I did this a little bit too soon.
Oops.
What makes you say that?
This part of the puzzle.
Oh, we need to move the big thing. I did this part of the puzzle
too soon. I gotta drop down here.
It's okay, just a few broken bones.
Oh,
First, I need to use all of their teamwork to pull this sucker so that I can land on top of it. But anyway, what was I saying? There was like this video where it was like this goth girl who kept getting bullied by these three dudes, like like catcalls and all that crap.
Right.
And when she was like, you can't trust me. moving on. We're just gonna pass right by that point. So they were all like, "Oh, it's not. It's just a compliment. Why can't you take the compliment?" Basically, exactly what they were saying. So next day, he's like, "Wait, who are your friends?" And it's the goth girl, but she's joined by like 3 heavily like muscular thugs like, from a biker bar, and she's like, "Oh, don't worry. These are just what's your name? Skull. Okay. Blood. And what is your name? Jimmy. All right, Jimmy. And they are people that I have hired to help give you guys compliments." And then basically it just becomes the whole role reversal of now it's these really aggressive guys who just are following the 3 like complete douches that were bullying the girl, just following them around all day. And then what happens is that she was explaining all their roles, like, oh, he's the guy who's going to be making really creepy comments about you. Here's the person who's going to make very rude comments about you. And Jimmy, Jimmy's the breather. As he stares at you, and that's how she describes it. And Jimmy's the breather.
You'll have to forgive me.
Oh boy.
I freed him.
It's okay. They have no nerve endings or bones.
Yes.
Anyway, I'm just.
Right.
I wanted to.
For some reason. Go ahead.
Sorry, I wanted to say real quick that you'll have to forgive me. I thought you'd said Jimmy's the breeder.
No. Breeding. No, we're not doing. No, that would be horrible. Yeah, no. But
anyway.
it's breather. I'll see if I can find that clip later. But yeah, it was just something. I just love the simplistic of like that's all he does. Anyways, yeah, we got ourselves a pretty decent squad here.
So I'm sorry, Steve. You what was the point you were making?
Yes.
Just going back to Logan's joke about how like the girl hired those thugs to pretty much bully the guys back. For some reason, I have this like idea of like, I know it probably wouldn't be, people would probably hate this, but I had this idea of escalation where it's like the guy would just try to one-up her and hire even bigger guys to bully her back, or actually hire bigger guys to hire the bullies that she hired to bully the bullies. And
soon we just have straight up SpongeBob looking motherfuckers just stomping around like as in like they belong on the show, not that they look like SpongeBob. That would be terrifying though. Giant muscular SpongeBobs just walking around.
La 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 la.
Good night, Gary. But they still have they still have the same high pitched voice.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's even scarier.
Have you seen that? Okay, I'm not going to play it here because that genuinely gets me every time. Have you seen that GIF or that animation where it's a giant muscular Pac-Man who runs right at you from the screen?
Okay, that I haven't seen. I thought you were talking about that clip from early SpongeBob where SpongeBob fantasized about having a muscular body, and it shows like SpongeBob with the muscular body just jellyfishing through the fields. Yeah,
no, this guy's dead.
He's very dead.
Yeah, however, he's still a person in my eyes. Get down there.
And in the eyes of the machine,
we are all dead. No, but so that's the idea. I do actually need him to weigh down that switch. There are only 19 living people around here. Actually, technically 18 because I will be one of them. I'll be one.
Yeah, I
of
was about to say you're not counting yourself there, Bucko.
I don't care about myself.
Why would they put these guys in a cage? Is my question.
There we go, guys. Gonna put you on a ride.
The edge.
Done.
Yeah, no. In a normal situation, they would be very dead.
Well,
I'm sure they're actually
Hold on,
fine.
I just imagine. You know what? Fine. There.
I was about to say, because I remember, like, before I saw you were about to push the cage, just to go off Allie's thing, it's like, why did they put you guys in cages? Oh, they didn't. We just like hanging out in cages.
And then what was that, man?
Basically, James said it, just that, like, Mau Mau joke every time the villains just are blasted off, like Team Rocket. You just always hear in the background, "We're okay!"
Well, yeah, they gotta come back somehow. Just...
Yeah, see?
Okay, yeah, they're fine. They'll pick themselves up. Almost got our full squad.
Almost.
I said squad.
I thought you said. I thought you said squad.
Squad goals.
I mispronounced.
Come
Okay.
on.
Hold it up. Nice.
Teamwork.
Wait a minute. Is that all you, or there's some weird freaks around here who like roller coasters way too much? Oh, there they are. I knew them. There's always the freaks that like roller coasters too much.
Just 4 more times, I promise.
I always tell them they can't do this too many times. Here, let me get them down.
Yahoo!
We gotta use physics.
Is it wrong for me
Put
to
your
say?
hands up.
Is it weird for me to say I was actually expecting them to actually try to line up and to make a bridge?
Wait.
That would have been great, and there we go. Yeah, that's a little physics puzzle. You need to lift it up quickly so they go up. But there, I got the freaking.
So basically, you were
freaks.
expecting them to pull a sticker star / color splash because I know they both did the thing
With
of
the
like
toads,
the toads
yeah.
making a bridge.
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. I was also thinking back to Star Allies with the Friend Bridge, but that works.
Oh, there is
Oh
also
yeah, and I was thinking for some reason of Spy Kids 2 with the Magnet Men.
I forgot
Why was I
about that,
thinking?
honestly.
Why was I thinking about the Magnet Men?
Why
don't
don't
know.
I remember that?
You never struck me as someone that particularly cared for Spy Kids anyway.
I mean, I saw the movies. I saw the first 3 anyway.
The third one's the first and the second one I thought were both okay. For
The first
children's
one I
movies.
think
Yeah.
is generally okay. I barely remember anything of the second one. The third one I remember for a while I considered a guilty pleasure, but then I realized, no, you should never have guilty pleasures.
There, and then the fourth one happened that nobody cared about.
I actually forgot that a fourth one exists.
Yeah,
Okay,
the one
so
with
turns out it was-
smell-o-vision.
So
Smell you
turns out
again. Smell you later, guys.
And then there was the
Well, what the-
spin-off with the uncle killing people.
Oh, this
So it turns out,
big
Matt,
huge
I was-
chamber.
Yeah, so it turns out, Matt, I was incorrect. There was not a rave. It's some sort of massive sonic experiment, like sonic sound experiment that destroys
boy.
anything.
For
Yeah.
me, I thought it was
Basically-
just like the world's most volatile like electric conductor.
So yeah, let me just say right now, if I am not behind anything that can brace against that, that thing will literally like the sonic the sheer shockwave of that will be enough to rip
Oh,
me into.
okay.
God damn it! I didn't think we were gonna go through that Donkey Kong Country Returns tidal wave shit again.
Yeah, and this time there is a rhythm to it at least.
So yeah, you can time it well enough.
But yeah, just be very careful. This is probably one of my most favorites. This is probably my most favorite set piece of this whole game, though, because I do like the sheer power you feel
Yeah,
between
it's
everything
like-
shuddering
Come on,
around
work, you
you.
stupid
You,
thing.
you kind of have to physically brace yourself, even though even though it's not actually happening to you in real life, because that sound quality is just it's impeccable enough that
So
you feel like you're actually there, and you have to brace yourself for the boom.
Right.
So this is what the Emperor used when he base boosted his electric attack.
Oh yeah, which is I love the muff. I love the how the music, how the ambiences now kind of follow the same.
Yeah,
Rhythm,
I
and
love
it's so
I love
cool.
the sound design.
How many Jericho missions does this devil damn guy have?
And get behind cover. Whoop.
Also, think about what would these people need with a sonic boom machine?
I don't know. Again,
They
whoever
want
owns
to
this facility,
construct their own Nash.
whoever owns this facility, it's super
Like I said, I'm trying to base boost my electric attack. You'll sound so
Actually, I
cool
need-
in an audience.
Actually, I might be wrong. The guy that Guile's partner that turned into a deadly cyborg, is that Charlie or Nash? Because I hear words.
Nash.
Charlie.
I died.
Charlie Nash.
Yeah.
Actually, it's funny. It's funny you bring that up because I remember for the longest time, Charlie was his American name and Nash was his Japanese name. By Street Fighter V, they confirmed it's all pretty much
Yeah,
his
just
full name,
Charlie
Nash.
Nash. Which actually, fun fact: Street Fighter V is not the first game. It is not the first Street Fighter thing to call the character Charlie Nash. That is, in fact, the Street Fighter movie that first called him Charlie Nash. And he is also Blanca for some reason.
Yeah, that was
Blanca.
stupid.
Honestly, it wouldn't be the first time Capcom actually acknowledged the movie's existence. I think back to Street Fighter Cross Tekken, and Bison's taunt actually has him quoting Raw Julia.
Of course.
Oh yeah.
Well, not that, he was
Okay,
quoting
we're
the
all
Tuesday
safe.
quote.
All right, that's interesting. Yeah, okay, we made it past that point. That can be a pretty tricky point if you don't get the timing down right.
Yeah.
Sweet music to my ears.
Because you will be blasted to smithereens.
All right, here we'll just take this elevator down.
I just want to go home and get lunch.
This is just us. This is just the trip
I
back.
just want
this
to
is our
get
trip
my
home from
lucky
school.
charms, damn it!
Here we go.
Wait.
Here we go. No, it's okay. We only got 3 of the cables, but it should be enough. Let's go down.
This entire adventure has just been this really elaborate means of getting home from school.
Oh crap!
And it just so happens we
crap,
live in a
it's still in the
dystopian...
sonic chamber.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah, the
Oh,
sonic
no.
thing's still going off, remember?
Yep.
My ears.
Whoa.
Oh. And we're in water.
Shit.
Okay, lift it up. Lift up. Can I? Okay.
Come on.
Oh,
lift
boy.
up.
The gate. There we go. Okay,
There you go.
we can swim out. We're free.
Oh, good God.
Find a
it's good thing
pocket.
We can swim.
Jeez.
Okay, there you go.
Whew.
This poor kid.
God, he's going to hell and back.
Every day.
And just once he gets home, it's like, oh, hi, sweetie, did you get the eggs? Damn it! And he goes right back to get the eggs.
Honestly,
Right back where he started.
honestly, I now know what this entire game is. This entire game is that story your grandparents tell you of.
You think getting to school is hard for you? Let me tell you when I had to get to school.
They show you this footage and made it.
Ooh.
When did you have time to
maybe-
record this, Grandpa?
Don't question what you don't want the answer to.
And maybe hype instead of the I also just would love the sheer like calmness of like, did you get the eggs? And it's just and he just turns and opens the door and
No,
walks
I
away.
didn't get the
Mom.
eggs.
No, it's just
Actually,
a
just
sigh.
going-
He just turns around.
Don't forget, it's near the base boosting. Damn it.
Actually, if I could just go,
puzzle.
just going back real quick, like, Matt made that joke about how, like, the old guys talk about, like, oh, you kids think you had it rough. It reminds me of this comedian that me and Mom saw once. I forget the dude's name, but he made this joke about how, like, when you get to heaven, all of the people from the Bible, like the really old ones, they would tell stories like that. It's like, oh, you think you got a bed? I was eaten by a whale. It's like, oh, you think you had a bag? I had to walk the desert for 40
Oh, crap.
years,
Mother.
and every day... Oh.
They're back.
Water child.
Cool. All right, let's just go back on our day.
Moving on along.
Anyway, I was about to say, like, and like, oh, you think he had a bag? I had to walk the desert for
puzzle
40
time.
years with nothing but a little bit of bread and manna, and every day 400 people would come up to me and ask, are we there yet?
Every day I said, no! Look around you! Are you still in the desert? You dead now!
Anyway, so what are we doing now again?
This is just a puzzle that, yeah, the way these boxes work is that their max height is determined by where they had their switch activated. So, oh, this is not going to be fun.
Oh,
Crap.
we have to go
now
down
we're-
into where the water child is.
Hi there.
Hello there.
Hi.
It hasn't fully
I'm
woken up
gonna
yet.
ignore you.
Hasn't
I
woken
bring
up
you
yet. It's awake.
greetings.
It's awake. 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 It will grab me and drag me down.
Oh, can I
Okay,
just...
so it's
okay,
only
can-
active. So this puzzle works. Those things are only active when you are in the water.
Okay,
if
and
they
they
grab
can't go out of
you-
the water.
Yes. If they grab you, though, they will drown you.
Right.
So I am now going to be very careful and let it sink as far as it can to the bottom. And now
'Cause
I
I
am
was-
going to start swinging because it won't react unless my feet are in the water. So I'm going to try and clear some distance between me and it.
Swing
I
your
was-
hips from side to side.
I was a little afraid at... I was a little afraid at first because I was thinking once you got up that the thing would actually have
Oh.
tried to jump out of the water to grab you.
Oh, that would have sucked like freaking shot.
God,
no,
yeah.
Yeah.
No
Also-
Shamu nonsense here.
Also, I just imagined this is the child of the woman and the monster from Guillermo del Toro's masterpiece, Sound of Water.
Do you?
Shape of Water?
Sorry, Shape of Water.
I know. I was like, how was that anyway?
I'm not a fan,
Go.
honestly.
I was
So-
about to say, like, I think the sarcasm gave it away, Logan.
Yeah, no, I'm actually not a fan. I love Guillermo del
Oop.
Toro. I will always fight that creativity should, like, I love his creativity. I love the creativity in that movie, but it was a little too creative for my
It's
taste.
a little out there. Wasn't it like a monster romance movie?
Yes,
Yeah,
it was.
that's
but,
what I heard.
Yes, it was, but there was some really weird shit in that movie. Like, really weird shit to the point where, okay, the woman is mute. She can't talk. But there's
Correct.
the point where literally I broke and just went, what the fuck am I watching? Like, I legitimately
Okay, here we go.
laughed out loud. I could not handle what I was watching. What happened was, she's mute, the monster is...
I'm going to use myself as bait here. I need to lure it over there. by using this chain. So I've just lured it a little bit further to the left by dipping my toes in, and
Okay.
now I can get a little more distance here. Anyway, back to you.
Anyway, so there's a scene where the monster and the woman has basically taken the monster out of captivity. It's in her home, and she's just like sitting across from it. And I was just like, okay, what's going on? She's trying to talk to it, but of course she can't. And then she starts saying words. I'm like, what? And she starts singing. I'm like, what? Then everything goes black and white, and there's suddenly a giant sound stage, and she's in a dress and suddenly dancing with the monster while a band is in the background playing.
Oh, there's a dream sequence.
And I was just like, I know it's a dream sequence, but I was just like, this broke me. What the fuck am I watching? What is
It
this?
sounds-
Are you saying mute people aren't allowed to have weird dreams?
No.
I just thought it was kind of silly. My favorite part about that movie was actually the trailers and how every trailer made it seem like it was a completely different movie.
Well,
The first trailer it was looking more like a creature movie, like a scary movie. Second trailer looked more like a romance movie. By the third trailer, it looked more like a heist movie.
Yeah, to be fair, there are a lot. And
So it's like Rockadoodle.
fun fact, it's all three of those things, unfortunately,
Sweet.
and they do not meld well.
Now, and just let me guess, they tried Jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah. I will say the only good thing in that movie, though, the directing, the sets, and things I like: the directing, the sets, the tone, and also the effects and makeup on the monster. It looked amazing.
Okay.
But yeah.
So
Well,
yeah.
Well, we'll get to our sequel of Shape of Water later.
Yeah,
As a
join
sequel?
join us for what will be the finale of Inside, because again, this game's not too terribly long, and we're getting super close to the finally to our destination. And I remembered the milk.
But did you remember the eggs, honey?
No.
Join us next time as we review the feel of oil.